We all think we know our dogs, right? We see all their little quirks and habits and just assume it's love or their unique personality. But what if I told you that some of the most common things they do are actually a desperate silent language? Okay, let's get into this because understanding that language could literally save your dog's life. So, just think about your dog for a second. Is yours a Velcro dog, the kind that shadows you into the bathroom? Or maybe they lick you with this almost frantic energy? Most of us just chalk that up to pure affection, a sign of that amazing bond we have. But here's the thing. What if it's not just a cute quirk? Veterinary experts are telling us that these exact behaviors can be your dog's only way of telling you that something is seriously wrong. So today, we're going to decode those signals. All right, first up, let's start with the things you can actually see. Think of your dog's body as a report card for their health. You just have to know where to look and what you're looking for. The first and maybe the easiest check you can do is to look at their gums. Go on, lift up their lip. A healthy dog should have nice bubblegum pink gums. But if you see gums that are really red, swollen, or even bleeding, that's a huge warning sign. It could be pointing to serious dental disease or maybe even a bigger infection somewhere else. But if you see this, well, this is a drop everything and go situation. Pale, white, or almost colorless gums are a true emergency. This often means something severe is happening internally, like anemia or even massive blood loss. You need to act, and you need to act fast. And the source material we're looking at puts it in really stark terms. That pink color in their gums is blood flow. So when that pink fades away, your dog could literally be bleeding out on the inside. This is why making a habit of checking their gums is so critical. And there are other physical red flags to watch for. A bloated, hard belly could mean a life-threatening condition. Big clumps of fur falling out, leaving bald patches, that's not just normal shedding. Cloudy or milky-looking eyes can signal painful conditions like glaucoma. And here's a big one. If your normally sweet dog suddenly snaps when you touch them, that's not bad behavior. That is a cry of pain. So the physical signs are one piece of the puzzle. But sometimes the most serious warnings are hidden in plain sight in behaviors we completely misinterpret every single day. Okay, here is a simple but absolutely critical rule. Dogs are wired to eat. So if your food-obsessed friend suddenly turns their nose up at everything for more than 24 hours, it is not them being picky. It means their body is shutting down to fight something serious. That is an emergency, period. Have you ever seen your dog do this and thought, oh, what a cute stretch? Well, it's not. This is actually called the prayer position, and it's a desperate attempt to relieve agonizing abdominal pain. They're literally trying to find any possible position to lessen that agony. This is really all about reframing how we see things. You see your dog hiding, you might think they're just being antisocial. A vet sees an animal feeling incredibly vulnerable and stressed. You see them sleeping more and call it laziness. A vet sees a body that's exhausted from fighting off an illness. And those accidents in the house, it might not be a training problem at all, but a sign of something serious, like organ failure. Now, pain isn't always something you can see, like a cut or a scrape. Very often, the first clue that your dog is hurting is a really subtle change in how they move, or maybe how they don't move. And it often starts small, this escalation of pain. First, maybe just a little hesitation before they hop on the couch. Then, a few weeks later, you realize they don't follow you up the stairs anymore. And finally, you see them actually struggling, maybe trying a few times just to get up from their bed. This slow progression is a classic sign of chronic pain from something like arthritis. There are other signs of distress to watch for, too. Uncontrollable shaking when they aren't cold, crying out when they get up or when you pet them, obsessively licking one single spot on their body. That's their way of trying to self-soothe pain. And if a normally clean dog just stops screaming themselves, it's often because they're in too much pain to even try. Okay, the next few signs we're going to cover are the ones where you don't wait, you don't Google it, you get to an emergency vet immediately. In these cases, every second truly counts. Now, I'm about to show you one of the most unusual and honestly one of the most terrifying warning signs a dog can possibly show. If you see this, you are in emergency territory. It's called head pressing. And we're not talking about your dog just resting their head on something. No, this is a compulsive, forceful act. They will push their head into a wall or a corner or another hard surface and just hold it there. Let me be absolutely clear about this. This is a neurological emergency. It signals a severe problem with their brain or their nervous system, things like a tumor, poisoning, or a stroke. If you see this happen even one time, it's a critical 5-alarm fire warning sign. We all know dogs' pants. That's how they cool down. But the difference between normal and an emergency is all about the context. Panting after a game of fetch? Totally fine. But panting heavily while they're just resting in a cool room? That's not about temperature. That's a sign of pain, respiratory distress, or even heart failure. Here's a number you should probably know. A healthy dog, when they're at rest, takes between 10 and 30 breaths per minute. If you count their breaths while they're sleeping and it's consistently over 30, they're struggling to get enough oxygen. That is an emergency. So why does all this matter so much? It comes down to this absolutely devastating statistic from emergency vets. 60% of dogs who die from preventable conditions showed clear warning signs that their owners either missed or just didn't understand. We have the power to change that number. So here's the crucial takeaway. Your dog is talking to you constantly. Through their body, through their behavior, they are telling you their story every single day. The only real question is, are you listening?